right now. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, brilliant. Yes, welcome back to the best stream here at Dreamhack Winter. Years of experience and planning have gone into the production of the Dota 2 tournament. Very serious we are taking this, is needless to say, for the Corsair Vengeance Cup. We're going to be going into Na'Vi versus Absolute Legends in just a moment. We are currently waiting on one player from Na'Vi.
Everyone's actually inside the game. Poppy says he's good to go, so we're just waiting for Absolute Legends to say yes and the admin to hit the button.
All right, then. So we'll be going away in just a moment. Draskell,
We have
AL,
voices.
you here? Sorry?
Do we have voices? Or
Yes,
am
I assume that we do. You don't. You maybe
I
don't.
do not have a voice, no.
You have a voice. I
do.
promise you.
You
Okay.
do.
I
Yes.
just want to make sure.
I can
Yes.
confirm this.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're doing
Excellent.
excellent.
We're good to go then.
So, you know, just a little question for you. What did you think of that little VLC advert we ran in the break?
It was good. I liked it.
Pretty good company,
Pretty good.
isn't it?
It
Yeah,
is.
it is good.
Fantastic.
And of course, maybe not as an important question, how do you think Na'Vi versus AL is going to go?
I got a favorite AL here. Or not AL, excuse me, Na'Vi. I said that backwards. But Na'Vi is a team who they have known to play over aggressive at times, and AL is a team who knows when they can take team fights. They're very coordinated. Their team fights are always really good. That's what we saw when they just played 3D Max. So honestly, I feel like they're a team who could possibly take a game off of Na'Vi, especially in best of ones. You have to worry about those quote-unquote cheese strategies that people pull out. And all it takes is one, because these are best of one games.
Yeah. And Toby, question for you. You didn't shave your head.
No, because MTW didn't turn up.
Oh my God. Well, it's actually quite good because I'm sure if a lot of people tuned in, saw me in a suit with you three with shaved heads, they'd assume that I was interviewing survivors of Chernobyl or something. And, you know, it wouldn't really look Dota 2-ish. So I'm happy you've got hair.
I'm happy I have hair as well.
Yeah.
I'm really, really happy. I am one of the...
Why didn't MTW turn up?
Nobody knows. MTW basically said there was something that would block them from coming here. So at the end of the day, they were unable to turn up. So, yeah. The organisation still has to make the official statement. Syndra made a personal one saying, I'm sorry, not there, can't defend. Such is life.
Do you think that changes the overall outcome of the tournament? Because MTW...
Well, I already said MTW wasn't going to get in the top 4, hence I bet my hair. So, overall, no, not really.
I think Syndran's just being a good guy. He's won the last 2 Dreamhacks, and he said, you guys can have a chance this
Who
month.
wants a hat trick?
No, but Sock still did come in. He was in the last one for MTW, took it up against Na'Vi, and now he's playing with Empire, the sworn enemy of Na'Vi.
And so the match at hand, Na'Vi versus Absolute Legends. I'm sure you guys will be, you know, talking about this when we throw it over to actually when the game starts. But any kind of pre-thoughts? I mean, we've already seen AL play. We know that you know, this Group A, there are going to be some very strong teams and some up-and-comers. But now we've got potentially the 2 strongest teams of the group going against each other. So what kind of force do you have going into the match?
For me, this was an interesting game because it doesn't entirely affect the outcome of the tournament. Both the top 2 teams are going to advance. They're fighting for that top position. So we may see Na'Vi trying something new, something a bit different. Na'Vi are a team who just have the slightly better play in every position, from solos to supports to their carries. So I think Na'Vi do have some room to experiment a bit here and maybe just try outplay Absolute Legends, who are going to be looking to try take that top 1 spot.
Well, do you think that's going to be the philosophy? Because obviously if you come out first in your group, you'll get an easier time going into the brackets in terms of you know, you should be placed against someone who came second in their group. In my opinion, I think it's a time for AL to kind of maybe mix up what they can do. You know, they're probably expecting maybe to come second. Obviously they don't want to, they want to get first. They might have something up their sleeve. Do you think that's going to be the case? They have been boot camping here in Jönköping for a few days before the tournament.
I don't think they need to show too much in this. If they want to try something random and different, they definitely should if they want to try and place a little bit higher. But it doesn't affect you going like, you're not going to drop in the lower bracket, you're not going to drop in the upper bracket. So both these teams, Na'Vi I think are going to do what Na'Vi do best, and that's 1, start the game, and 2, screw around a lot. They're going to pick up with random picks. For them, it doesn't really matter. They've won 1 game already in this group stage. They're going to feel almost confident to go through their last game of this day as well, even though it should be a little bit, it won't be an easy walk for them, but it should be an easy enough walk. For this game, I think Na'Vi will play around a little bit. Absolute Legends, they're going to be as standard as they possibly can, show absolutely nothing secret, but if they can do it, be as aggressive as possible, because it's the only way you can really shut down Na'Vi. You've got to stick it to them and force their mistakes, force to throw.
All right then, so we are in the ban and pick phase, so we're going to hand it over, and Toby and Gods will just take this one away. So enjoy the match, Na'Vi versus Absolute Legends.
Well, guys, welcome back to the Dreamhack Winter Corsair Vengeance Dota 2 Cup. Here we are with Absolute Legends up against Na'Vi, fighting over that top split position, Toby.
Yeah, that they are, man. And Na'Vi, I am not surprised at all by Puppy's first start. I love watching this guy draft. For me, Puppy's mind, just to see the way he approaches the draft, is just so damn interesting. We're taking out Wisp, we're taking out Mag, and the normal bans which Puppy's been doing through every single game over the last period is ban out Wisp and take out Undying. He's happy to let him through because, as you saw in the last game, Mag is just the new in thing. He's the guy that can do every lane, do anything you want, can control so many different fights, and come with me, ban out two of Dendy's biggest heroes and two of the easiest and straight up instant picks for Na'Vi, TA as well as Batrider, but it gives Light of Heaven the Bounty Hunter. Yeah, we're going to see Bounty Hunter from Na'Vi. The problem is with Dendy, you can ban out a couple of series, there's always a few more coming your way. I love that Na'Vi do ban out the Mag. It's a hero that Bambo's been seemingly playing game in and game out, and just getting him outside of his comfort zone is always a good way to go. Absolute Legends, they move on, get the Darkseer Jakiro, so they have a strong offlaner of their own in Darkseer, also a hero who can potentially go to the mid lane depending on the matchup, and then the strong support. Jakiro, who's kind of the flavor of the month as support heroes go. Yeah, well, Jakiro is just, ever since they reworked his Ice Path, it's just this awesome thing. We even see Ice Path being used in the same way the Fissure is. It's almost like an Icy Fissure. But you throw it down, and if someone's going to walk into it, then they get stunned as well. It's this containing ability, which also, if you get the right line right, is absolutely perfectly. And because it's not this instant stun straight away, you can throw down the Jakiro Ice Path, and then Darkseer can do his magic. Vacuum, pull everyone to the Ice Path, and then you combine it with something else. I think every single person at home is now going to be absolutely cheering their asses off, because we're going to get a Dendy Pudge. Yeah. We're going to get a Dendy Pudge.
Dendy Pudge. You can ban out his TA, ban out his Batrider, but Na'Vi don't even wait for the second pick stage. They pick it up now, they pick it up early, and, well,
it was actually banned against them in their first game they played. They didn't pick it up in the first stage. It was banned out in the remaining three, but this time around, maybe Denny is, because I know the way that Na'Vi kind of play this draft. Normally it's like, I want this. Denny will go to Puppy and say, I want to play Pudge. Get me Pudge. And it forced him to pick it in the first three.
Especially here in the group stage where there's a bit more room for error. They're not as high risk as far as with the strategies that go. We're going to see Chen as well, so we're going to see the great combo. Well, signature heroes, not to mention a hilarious combo if you can time that hook with the Holy Persuasion. Well, now Test of Faith now sends heroes back. If you can time that at the right time, it does, hilarity ensues.
It's also a lot harder since they changed the animation of it. It was very, very obvious when the Test of Faith was going on, back when it was Holy Persuasion. And it was like big lights lighting up on it, but now it's like an expanded clarity potion going off on somebody. Unless you're really looking for it and you're used to the animation, you won't see it coming.
Yeah, and the other problem with Chen now is it costs 200 mana, and that's on top of all your other spells. The Holy Persuasion, the Test of Faith, it forces Chen to get the fast Arcane Boots. You can't rush a mech, you have to really go for these more mana-intensive items. Absolute Legends, they respond with a Lifesteal, somewhat designed of countering the Pudge as well as the Chen. Infest, great for taking out a Chen creep. You get a minus on top of that. That's two Chen creeps instantly dissipated. Yep. And Lifesteal going head-to-head with the Pudge can somewhat do all right here. The tankier the Pudge is, the more damage you're dealing.
Yeah, that's right. And if he's able to be that tanky, I'm waiting for a bit of a surprise pickup from AL as well, like to see something like a Storm Spirit come in, so we get to see these Nakes bombs, which we've seen in the past. Actually, I remember there was a combination being used by Absolute Legends where they combined the Nakes as well as the Puck together. And it was Bamboo taking up the role as the Puck, and just combining these two together, Puck jumps in, instant silence, nothing else can be done after that point. If you need to hold him in position too, Puck ulti is always there. We got the initial damage, then the jump out, then the open wounds. There's just nothing to do when this combination flies at you if you get caught.
Yeah, and right now that is exactly what AL are missing, that solo mid hero for Bamboo. You've got Frieza who can go into that offlane Darkseer. Sony's been playing the carry with him for lifesteal, so a hero like Puck, like the Storm Spirit for the mid lane, something that can go up okay against the Pudge. That's always going to be the issue. What can actually survive against a 1v1 against the Pudge? I think Storm Spirit struggles a bit there. Puck can stay alive, just sit back. He's been buffed. He's got some additional bonus damage. You can last hit a bit better. Maybe AL even go with the strong dual lane just to make sure Dendy gets no room, no space to get any sort of a start in the mid lane.
So let's look at our last couple of bans right now. So Rubik, Venomancer, CK being taken out. So Absolute Legends, are they just banning against Divorced? Because if they gave him CK, we were looking at 4 signature heroes. But I'm wondering too, what's going to happen with Asven? Because I am not seeing him in this pool just yet, and I know what's going to happen if Absolute Legends is capable of picking up. But Puppy wants to let it through. He takes out Veno and he takes out Lone Druid. There's no Sven ban. You got yourself a Darkseer pull in, AoE stun, and Jakiro lockdown. Are we going to go that many you can do it if you run aggressive.
It forces Sven to be played as support, and I think that's something they're not expecting Ale to do. I think more
Yeah.
likely Ale, when they run it, they're playing as that farmer. Most of the teams nowadays in the European scene are doing it. It's a hero that fits with Na'Vi, though. They've been denied Havos's anti-mage as well, something that Na'Vi often fall back on when they don't have this all-out aggressive style of play, when they don't succeed in getting that great early game start, when they say, oh, well, Havos is off farming with the anti-mage, they have the backup plan, and that's, like you say, the Havos, his carry hero, is missing from this Na'Vi team. Sven's still left in the pool, something that Na'Vi could get. AL can if they want to play as a support, but it just doesn't seem to be their style.
We see the final ban out from Come With Me, and that's going to be to remove the Bane Elemental. He is one of these heroes that, well, most CIS teams love, especially if you're going up with an aggressive tri-lane, to throw the Bane on it, and then you just remove the damage of the damage healer. Like, you take Enfeeble, you just drop it down, and it's not only just to stop the aggression when it happens, it's also for normal farming. Nace comes out there, if he's like out there with a Quelling Blade, he's looking for those lances, he wants that bonus damage, and then he just loses everything he has. So Bane taken out. Also another big ability to go through the rage of Lifestealer.
Yeah,
that Fiend's Grip just completely shuts him down.
A great little counter, also a way of actually locking down the Darks here. And then for Na'Vi now, with this fourth pick, maybe you're looking at Arsad's Leshrac, something that can be played as a support instead of the Bane. He's been playing Leshrac if you're going signature heroes, Leshrac for Arsad is kind of where you want to head, and you need that strong support to go with whatever carry you want for Havos. Maybe some kind of stun you can go with a Leshrac Sven lane, some strong jaw lane there. For AL, they have to be ready for something which can just try keep the Darks out of the lane. They're going to pick up, Windrunner now. Looks generally Light of Heaven hero, but maybe we're going to see, depending how Bounty Hunter is going to be laned as an offlaner, maybe as a safe lane farmer, maybe we're going to see a Windrunner support. Plenty of ways Na'Vi can run this.
Yeah, that's definitely true, man. I'm wondering also if, Pudge, I don't know, it's got to be Dendi. I'm thinking, because this is one thing which I've noticed with Na'Vi, with their Pudge. A lot of times, Dendi will run it on the safe lane. And he'll farm it up there, and they let someone else go rather aggressive in the middle lane. And I know Havos is also playing around with some heroes which he didn't want to play. Like he was playing Leshrac the other day, just because he didn't want to play the Tinker. And you get a Windrunner, you get a Chen, you get a Pudge, you get a Bounty Hunter. It's guaranteed the puppy will be on that Chen. There is really no one else in Na'Vi that can even handle a Chen at any kind of rate that he can. And then you're going to add Pudge into the mix. Gotta be Dendi. But Bounty Hunter and Windrunner, Havos has taken that Bounty Hunter before, play it on the safe lane, play as a big hard carrier, and then you get the early Vladimir's offering up, you get the drums up on him, you go around ganking, but more importantly, with them on the dire side, we look at Roshan having about the 10-minute mark. And that's where the life-stealing Bounty Hunter tanks it all up, but you need a good damage dealer. That's the last thing they're missing. And Bounty Hunter, he can do that to an extent with a large amount of farm, but we're still missing that from Na'Vi. If they go one last support hero, it's going to be 100% Windrunner, Light of Heaven off lane.
Yeah.
But where's their damage dealer?
The alternative, I mean, you mentioned Pudge sometimes gets played in the safe lane by Na'Vi. Maybe we see a Light of Heaven solo mid winner. They can send the Bounty Hunter to the off lane for Havos, have Windrunner at mid, then the Pudge in the safe lane. Something you say they've done. Na'Vi can run that.
Yeah.
AL, they pick up the Vengeful Spirit here. They get an aura to give the Lifestealer more damage. They get a stronger tri-lane of their own with the Lifestealer, Jakiro, Vengeful Spirit, something they can run offensive if they want to go try contest the top lane, send those three heroes top, and that's not somewhere where Chen can help out. There's your Leshrac. This looks like safe lane Pudge, or maybe the Bounty Hunter farming.
It'll be Bounty Hunter farming, and then Pudge can go solo mid, because right now you look at Absolute Legends lineup, and the one missing hero is solo mid. And Poppy is going to be taking the gamble that if they need to, they can switch Windrunner in towards the middle lane. But Pudge will want to go solo, and you look for the ganking support very, very quickly. You see one Centaur up for Chen, second he gets that, both Leshrac as well as Puppy, both will smoke, both will hunt that middle lane. It's one of these things we always look at as far as who gets to control in the middle lane. Now, a lot of people have been debating with the Radiant Easy Camp pulled in towards the middle lane. It's very, very difficult to control that mid, but if you have a Pudge, you make the plays. Once he gets those early levels up, we only need like level 2 up on that hook, and then he can already get himself in a position where he can really reach in range of that tower. So whoever goes in that middle lane has got to go man-to-man with Pudge. And I don't know who can really do that. Storm Spirit, it is going to be that Storm I was talking about for the next bomb.
Yeah. It's a risk.
I was really thinking that was going to be Puck.
I definitely agree. I think the Storm Spirit, it's the squishier option, the easier to kill here. If you can get that level 6 without dying, fantastic. Ayla in cruise control from here on out.
Yep.
But getting to that level 6 is going to be a nightmare for Bambo in that middle lane.
Yeah, it's really going to be... I wish him all the best of luck. And it's actually not Bamboo taking it. Bamboo, in fact, has picked up the Nakes. So just very, very quickly going to run through the Absolute Legends lineup. They're all going to head up towards the top lane. So Going to be as aggressive as possible. Sentry wards galore. That'll be Come With Me onto the Vengeful Spirit, supporting as always as the captain of Absolute Legends. Sony will be on the Storm Spirit. Frieza will be our Darkseer, which puts Mania onto Jakiro, and Sexy Bamboo capping off the lineup as the Nakes.
Well, over on the Dire side, the team everybody knows, almost everybody loves, Na'Vi. We have got Havos going down the bottom lane on that Bounty Hunter. Windrunner being played by Light of Heaven. Art on his Leshrac. Chen being played by Puppey, and Dendi on his Pudge. Signature heroes all around. And boy, does this look strong and aggressive from Na'Vi.
Yeah, this is going to be a big thing to wonder when it's all going to hit the fan, because we know Pudge needs levels. We know Bounty Hunter likes to get a couple more levels. Wants track before he really starts hunting, and Puppey needs his level 5.
Yeah,
he's at 3 points up in the Holy Persuasion before he really want to start 100% moving around the map all the time. And I love these lanes from Na'Vi. You were saying aggression. Light of Heaven's going to be our solo top with Dendi in the solo mid, and it's going to be an aggressive tri-lane with Havorst, Bounty Hunter, and then the supports coming through. They've got to control this jungle perfectly.
Yeah, I have to wonder. I think Na'Vi are expecting Absolute Legends to run a tri-lane top, because sending their tri-lane bottom to match up against AL with a Jakiro, a Vengeful Spirit, and a Lifesteal is not a winning lane for Na'Vi. That's not a tri-lane they can win, so they must be expecting maybe a safe lane solo for Absolute Legends, which it's not going to be. The Jakiro, the Vengeful Spirit are both heading bottom, so maybe Na'Vi in for a bit of a surprise, or maybe they just think they can outplay AL using the Chen, using those creeps, and just try to turn the tides there. And right now, they are possibly in position to get an early pickup on this Vengeful Spirit if VS runs into them.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but really, I actually love this kind of lanes, and this is one of those things where I always look for lane trades. Light of Heaven on the top lane up against the Darkseer. He is going to have a great time. An absolute great time. We've got Darkseer. He is running Poor Man's Shields. Not the most amazing time in the world, but it's still going to be a good time. Get rid of those consumables, and then Darkseer has a really hard time staying on that top lane. You've got to get rid of a creep, got a couple levels in Power Shot, go straight through it, get rid of that Iron Shell as fast as you possibly can, and then Light of Heaven is capable of really controlling this top lane. You already see him looking to run away from any kind of Iron Shell, move in, move out, keep with that harassment, going first item up with the boots, and nothing but normal consumables. He wants to almost be a right-click hero, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see phase boots very early from him.
Yeah, he definitely needs to rush the phase boots to be able to last against the Dark. So I think that the boots as well as the region intended to basically survive against the possible trial, and the 1v1 matchup, this item build almost is going to hurt him because he doesn't have the extra branches, the extra stats, the extra early damage, but it will allow him to harass a bit more, try force the Darkseer as much out of the lane as possible. And for Na'Vi, with this Windrunner at top, this is going to be a hero that can start making some plays for them. They're not going to be able to have the early ganks coming out from Windrunner. It's going to be from the Chen as well as the Leshrac. Maybe we see, like you mentioned, the early smoke towards mid lane, try catch out Bamboo, but Bamboo is not an easy hero to gank at the mid lane.
But it's a lot easier, though, if you're running that aggressive tri-lane, because the transition normally, like I was talking about the fact before that Puppey would have to smoke with Leshrac, but in this scenario, you don't. You just basically transition yourself through the Radiant jungle where you already are. The only thing which is going to be difficult is Puppey getting creeps. And this is one of those things that I'm wondering just how effective can you be on that bottom lane with the Chen if he doesn't get some good creeps. We want to see Centaurs, we want to see Ursas to get those kind of claps off. If you want to completely control the bottom lane as well, maybe even a Lucky Wilkin if you can find one.
Yeah, and for AL, they want to make sure he doesn't get those creeps, which is going to involve Mania right now hovering around the mid lane. He's looking to pull that middle camp, try to knife farm from Dendi, but as soon as he notices this tri-lane at bottom, he's probably going to say, okay, we're going to leave this 1v1 matchup at mid, and then Jakiro's going to go help out. Try keep Chen out of the jungle, try push him away. With the VS and Chen, they can prevent Puppey from picking up creeps very early on. VS maybe even going to just try body block this neutral spawn here. If he stops this from spawning, that's no neutrals for Chen. That's Chen having a bad start.
That is true, and he's actually got 2 sentry wards on him too, so if he wants to block this off, just taking out that top camp and also the other top camp, it's where you're going to get the best creeps from. Like, sometimes you might get lucky enough to get it from the easy pull camp. But Na'Vi, if they get blocked off, then I'm wondering when they're going to say, we abandon this bottom lane. It's just not doable. It's just not possible. When do we fall back? By the way, as you can see on the stream, guys, there's a couple of issues with Light of Heaven's computer lagging in the game. So it was a very, very quick pause, and it looks like he's already back inside the game. So hopefully, quick restart.
And as for mid lane, Lifesteal versus Pudge, this is, I mean, AL, as they have been doing, put Bambo mid, but on a hero he's not been playing. On a hero like Lifestealer, early Stout Shield to block whatever harass is coming his way against Dendi, but this is a matchup where both heroes should get a bit of farm. Dendi's not going to be too worried about the fact that he can't kill Bambo. He's just going to go for the early levels, early farm, and then maybe look for the kills in other lanes. He'll look to sort of find a rune and then go gank the bottom lane. He's looking for those squishy supports rather than the impossible to kill Lifestealer.
All right, so we're good to go. So let's rock and roll rumble. And we'll already start off. So our top lane, the creep waves are already hit, and it's already facing up against a double iron shell for Light of Heaven. It doesn't look like he really cares too much. He's not going to be pulling. Darkseer is blocking with the illusions, but Light of Heaven is still going to find levels and experience. He's going to look for as many last hits as possible, which Darkseer, seen so many Darkseers has been completely on top of absolutely everything when it comes to farm on those off lanes.
And bottom lane, this is kind of the rotation from AL. They're trying to push Puppey out of this bottom jungle. They block it with the Sentry Ward, and then Jakiro swoops in from mid lane, prevents Chen from going for the other big camp further left. Chen cannot get past. Chen is forced to just either go back to his own jungle or hope for a lucky spawn. He doesn't get the Centaur in this camp here. He's forced to just take a Satyr Soul Sealer for now.
Yeah, but he's going to enjoy that one as Storm Spirit and VS on the bottom lane. How fast do you want to change that one up? But how fast will Storm Spirit also lose that early mana? Or if VS gets caught out, no Magic Missile very early on, forced to use those Clarities a lot earlier. But Bamboo, and there's another rotation. Denny's leaving that bottom lane. Light of Heaven might even switch in towards the middle lane, so is Dendy up against the Darkseer? Or is he coming up for a gank? This is an insanely early move.
Yeah, he knows a lot of that XP and farms being denied by the Jakiro pulling this middle creep wave, and I think he's just had enough, and he's going for something completely unexpected. Something that probably the last thing Freezer's thinking is going to happen this early
now
on,
he sees it.
A level 2 Pudge.
There was the ward that saw it, and Light of Heaven, he's already got a lot of damage right now from Freezer, but Light of Heaven, he wants to sacrifice himself, so he's able to make the opening for Dendy, but the creep wave blocks the line. Freezer can't get hooked out. And really, a lot was visible there. And there's Light of Heaven picking up the rune, and he is going to go towards that middle lane. Already the switcheroo begins.
Yeah, they want Dendy to get the early farm, early levels, and mid lane it's not going to happen against the creep wave denials from that mid lane pull. Jakiro is now swung towards bottom, so going to try once again to contest Puppey at this bottom lane. Puppey has yet to really be able to have too much of an impact here, apart from being a bit of a nuisance with those mana burns.
Yeah, he's just grabbing Satyr after Satyr as they try and stack the only camp they've got, praying that they find themselves a great creep. Mania and Kalmi both moving on towards that bottom lane. They see Arse up, but that's not the one they want. They want a Vorst, but hard to gank him when he's in Viz. They got no sentries. They use it all to block the camps. Or is there still one on Come With Me? Nope, there's not. In fact, he's even holding a branch which doesn't belong to him.
Yeah, and Come With Me is going to be the target of these mana burns. He is the important component for AL. Jakiro has plenty of mana pool, but you can mana burn VS down so that there's no mana for a Magic Missile. Then suddenly this AL Trylon is nowhere near as scary. It doesn't have the killing potential. And for now, Na'Vi just happy to play this bottom lane very, very defensive.
Love actually that small movement out from Bounty Hunter. I'm wondering if this is one of their things. Bring down the support heroes, get them as low as possible, and then you make your move. Everyone has to stay in lane for the moment. There's no other option around it.
Well, and the lane rotation from Windrunner at mid. Windrunner's going to find a much easier lane here up against the solo life, so we can just harass down, kite him around. AL still sort of, I would say, just struggling to find the openings at this bottom lane. They have the aggressive trailing with the VS Jakiro. They have the lockdown from the stun, the follow-up from an Ice Path, and the slow from a Jewel Breath. But Na'Vi just well-positioned, not giving any chance for AL to come in. And this Mana Burn just being a complete pest for Mania. He's already copped 2. Come With Me has taken 1 or 2. And this is not being fun. Yeah,
Come With Me is in his last Clarity Potion. At this point, doesn't have the stun. He's got no stun up his sleeve. Mania's got his, but once he uses that, if that Mana Burn comes in again, life is even more difficult. And it lets the opening come up slowly. Dendy going ring Rosie around this top tower. Already sitting at pretty low life. Steam want to hook Freezer back in range of that tower now the creep wave's out. But Dendy already running bottle on the top lane, so he can deal with the damage that Freezer's doing. Freezer running Soul Ring, so keeping his mana always pretty damn low, which means as far as combos go, surging as well as getting that Iron Shell off, going to be very, very difficult. You see Dendy just twitching that hook as well. He wants to go, but he can't see the opening. Freezer's not giving him one.
Yeah, and the one thing going Na'Vi's way is that they've got this greater rune control. Leshrac, with this offensive trail, they're getting all the bottom runes. As far as top runes go, Lifesteal at the mid lane isn't going for a bottle, isn't going to be looking to control the runes at all. So Na'Vi can try find some runes, can try set up some kills, and just use these to help have a better time at this bottom lane. Chen now from Puppey's rotate towards top. He's looking to just find some openings somewhere else. And he's not going to be able to kill the Darkseer on his own, I don't believe. Even with Pudge there, Pudge may be at level 6. That's when they can try find those openings.
Yeah, I think at this point he's more looking for levels. Levels is the thing which he is so desperately needing. Dendy really being pushed back to that tier 2 tower. And support is coming up as Texi Bamboo is rotated up from the middle lane. And they won't be ready for Puppey to be 100% here. So there's already our hook maybe from Dendy. No, he doesn't want to. He's sitting a little bit too low and he's out of bottle charges. So doesn't 100% want to go in. And Bamboo's just staring Puppey down. Wow. But he's out of that middle lane. Light of Heaven's getting free time.
Yeah, Light of Heaven getting some free time to get some more farm for himself. They are giving space for Darkseid to get up those early items. Soaring Boots, 27 CS. Darkseid leading the way as far as farm goes for the time being. And that's something AL are going to be pretty happy about, forcing Pudge out. The problem is now Pudge goes back to heal. This could be a TP bottom. Pudge could look for another lane to try go and make an impact on, apart from versing that Darkseid.
It is possible for him to go down there. I was waiting for AL. They were almost in a good position to start off. Come with me. His Clarity Potion has already done its job. He's got the mana to do everything that he needs to do during an engagement. Manny was looking for that opening too. But one thing which is severely lacking from this bottom lane, Sentries and Dust.
Yeah,
both are really lacking. You cannot kill the Bounty Hunter unless they are able to chain stun him. And that's VS stun, then your Ice Path, and then you pull in from Storm Spirit as well.
Yeah, they've recently put some down, but they haven't actually gotten kills. It's a 200 gold investment.
You can actually see that. I can't. It looks like normal Observer was to me.
No, yeah,
they're actually Sentries. They're on either side.
They've had them there for about a minute, maybe 2 minutes now, and for one thing, they're stacking the vision there. They haven't gotten those kills, so it's a big gold investment to not get a kill. Sure, they've maybe slowed down Havos's farm on this Bounty Hunter, kept him away from the creep wave, but regardless of the Sentry Wards being there, he's going to have to play safe. It's a dual lane versus a tri lane. He cannot be too aggressive there. So AL really investing a lot in the early game supports. You can see no boots on Jakira, no boots on Vengeful Spirit. These two heroes are going to be having a struggling time here. And it's Na'Vi who are making sure their supports can get a bit of farm. Puppey abandoned the bottom lane to go top just to make sure he could catch up on the farm, like you mentioned.
Yeah. And without those levels, without that farm, he doesn't do anything. Like he's a level 2. And that's all he's managed to achieve so far. Even his one time when he went up to farm, Bamboo ended up appearing on that top lane, and he had to keep his troll away before he got stolen by Infestation. The only thing he can do is just keep the creeps away, keep their heroes away from him, so he's able to farm up the creeps inside the jungle. Only thing he really can do. But while this bottom lane, it also needed levels. Bounty Hunter, not level 6 just yet, sitting on that bottom lane. He's looking to initiate. He's looking to be aggressive. 2 points up in Shuri Toss to start with. That's the first thing he wants to do. We're not leveling up Janata. We're not leveling up the Ghost Walk. We're looking at the high points in Shuri Toss, and that's going to combine with the burst damage of Leshrac. 2 points with Earth, 1 point up on that Lightning. Anything he wants to do is quick, is fast, is dirty. It just wants to get the support hero down on the ground, so then they can fall back and say, we have a bigger advantage on this bot lane.
Oh yeah, there's some squishy supports down there. Vengeful Spirit, Storm Spirit, not level 6, less than 600 AP. And the Jakira, the tankier of the three, is still also a possible kill. So I expect Na'Vi, they're going to be looking to rotate Pudge down towards bottom lane, and maybe even Light of Heaven on that win run. He's had a great time at this mid lane, pretty much free farming away, but he's a hero who can help set up some kills with the help of Pudge. So some rotations towards the bottom lane. It's the 3 heroes which are most killable on the AL side. So if Na'Vi get a numbers advantage, it's 2, possibly all 3 going down there.
It's like we just have a pause right now from Light of Heaven again, so something must be going on that they're talking about down with the players, because they haven't been communicating in game just at the moment. But there's definitely some issues coming out from Light of Heaven. He was lagging before, so it's just possible PC problems coming out for him. And he can't really afford to have that. I'm actually just wondering too, because you were talking about the rotations. So Pudge as well as Windrunner moving out. Light of Heaven is one of these guys, whenever I watch him play, he always gets left alone in the lanes. They give him space. They let him farm up the power shot. They let him farm off the 4 staff. They let him farm up everything that he absolutely needs. Seems like there is no problem. But yeah, able to get that farm, and then he comes in for the engagements. And that's after Denny's already got his stuff. So they make sure he gets his drums, they make sure he gets his urn, and then he can just move around and gank whoever the hell he wants to. But in this scenario, I'm wondering if it has to switch up, if both Light of Heaven and Denny both have to start roaming, setting up with the shackles, or is it still down to Puppey to get that troll out there, get that trap, and then just go from there?
Puppey right now, he's really under leveled, and you mentioned level 2, he was trying to get into those neutral strike farm, gets pushed out. He's not going to be setting up kills for a while now. Sure, he's got this one Dark Troll Warlord, he's got the Ensnare, but he's not getting kills without the Windrunner or the Pudge. They're the only 2 heroes on this Na'Vi side who have the levels or damage output to actually set up kills. It doesn't have to be both of them coming in. Maybe they want to leave Light of Heaven to keep farming up the mech, the 4-star. But then that means they have to bring Dendy in to set up some kills. He can't just go back top for that 1v1 matchup against the Darkseer. He's got to go bottom. Alternatively, Dendy goes back top, they bring Winner in. One of those 2 heroes has to move, has to rotate if Na'Vi wants some early kills, some early aggression, which based on the lineups they want to do. They want to slow down Storm Spirit, getting his free farm, getting that fast level 6. Same for Lifesteal at mid lane. Maybe they can't really kill him, but they want to put pressure on the rest of his teammates. The supports who still don't have boots, who've been investing a lot in Sentry Wards. If they get some kills on them, that's going to be 10-15 minutes before we see boots.
Yeah. And that's something you never want to see on support heroes. It's like watching Tidehunter who just cannot get level 6. It's the most painful thing to watch. Hopefully these issues with Light of Heaven's computer do get sorted out sometime shortly. But obviously both teams, they do realize the semi-importance of this game.
Oh yeah,
I say semi-importance because if either of these teams lose it, it adds a little bit of extra pressure to the last game. Like, we know 3D Max is going up against Na'Vi in the last game, and they're no mugs. And if they play correctly, if they find an opening, we saw them in their first game of today in the group stage, where they were able to hold an advantage against absolute legends. And they were doing it quite comfortably until Teamfight. Then things went horribly, horribly wrong. But as far as it goes, if they get a good game, best of one, anything could happen. Na'Vi could find themselves knocked out inside the group stages. It's the same problem for absolute legends. There's one other team inside this group stage, and they'll be quite happy to remove them.
A team that they don't probably know anything about. Out of Tangos are a bit of this team just completely unknown from Sweden, and would be kind of a great story if they could come through with a big upset, make it out of the group stage. And it's always that best of one format where you can come up with a strategy just for one match, just to set up a win. You go for a level 1 Roshan, you do something completely unorthodox to catch a team by surprise. Even a team like Na'Vi, especially a team like AL, who are solid. They're up there as one of the top European teams, but they're much more beatable. So I think especially if AL can get a win out of this game, they're going to be so much more comfortable going into that last match.
Yeah, not to mention it's this big thing, not only for Absolute Legends. I think a lot of the other teams from the group stages are watching this game going, how is Na'Vi performing? Are they beatable? We know they haven't been as strong as they used to be. And this was a big thing about focusing, always getting the boot camps to work correctly. We saw the international summary of the international too, and Puppy said the boot camp before that went absolutely horribly. Boot camps don't always work. Sometimes when these guys just play together so much, it's like too much time. It's too much time together. And maybe they just need that little bit of space, which they've been getting over the last couple of, like the last month or so since the international too. That's kind of shown in their performances too, because the performances have dropped online. Even though they're still able to take out Style out of finals, which is when they get together and then they work even more as a team.
Then it really does click. And that's something, like you mentioned, TI2, at the group stage, they kind of struggle, but once they had the time to get together, they really turned things around. But here, Na'Vi up against AL, we are on pause. Dendi's TP back towards the top lane, so we'll see Pudge residing up there, not going for those early kills. So Na'Vi happy to just play this more farm-oriented game for the time being. They're keeping this 1-1-3 formation.
Yeah, Puppy down here. Maybe they can find someone. Come with me. He's a long way out right now. VS and out and Puppy. Could be able to attempt a first blood. Nice ice path. Puppy being pulled back in again, but Strike. Double stun out. Puppy gets the first blood. He got the nuke off in time. Brings down the VS, but Storm's able to bring him down. Looks like Bounty Hunter. Havorce isn't finished just yet. He wants Mania, who pops a lot of stick charges, so he should live through this. 10 more up the sleeve as well for Bounty Hunter, but he didn't want to bar of it at the end of the day.
Well, they trade kills at the bottom lane. Puppy does get the first blood, the more important kills. So Na'Vi just edging out AL in that bottom lane clash as AL. They still got Sony farming away at this bottom lane. He is getting more CS than Bounty Hunter Havorce for the time being. But with these kills, with Puppy now, well, Puppy can't really go back towards the bottom lane.
Nice! Puppy's not even there, but the Ice Path holds 2 of them out. But the damage is too much. 3 points up in that Shuri toss, and the stun from Arsad hitting. All they needed was that troll set up, and the troll was left behind.
Wow, really smart. And then Puppy can just go kill it with some neutrals, and then look to pick up another creep. He's rotated towards top jungle. This is what he's been hoping for. He just needs to leave his other creep to dive. AL unable to find their chances at bottom lane despite having this tri lane, and they decide to rotate, come with me top. Vengeful Spirit's going to be looking for a kill on Dendi at this top lane.
This is going to be very, very difficult. Remember, Dendi is level 6 now, so his ulti is already there. About to pop level 7. In comes Frieza. Actually surging up, come with me, so he's able to get this first stun off. TP support's coming in. There's no end of goal, there's nothing. He's attempting for the hook, and there's a stray hook. Couldn't get the denial on his rock too. Arsad's the one who came in, and now he's in trouble, but stun out and come with me. And again, Puppy coming in from the side. Both him and his troll look for the trap. There's the surge from Frieza. It's going absolutely nowhere. Puppy with the nuke. Arsat with the stun. They're able to just basically kind of round the Darkseer in the VS.
Yeah, forget Centaurs. Puppy's been making great use of these Dark Troll Warlords. And against a Darkseer who's maxed out Surge first, you have to. He hasn't got a single point in Vacuum. And as a result, Centaurs, you can easily dodge them around. The Ensnare, you cannot get away from unless you can outrun it before it's cast. But once it's cast, it does latch on. And Na'Vi, 2 kills. They punished AL for some over-aggression in the top lane.
Yeah, well, they really thought they could take Puppy. TP support comes in. It's just a Leshrac. There's no problem with that one. Puppy was getting kills on the bottom lane, but no, he actually died, then ran up top, picked up a new troll, and life was all basically smelling of roses.
Yeah, really smart play from Puppy, and Storm Spirit still not at the level 6 at the bottom lane. Going to really make it hard for AL to be looking to set up kills. They can't bring in those life stealer bombs yet. They need the Storm Spirit at level 6, and Bamboo still at this mid lane just looking for farm for the time being.
There's your Hawk, coming straight in the bottom lane, into the ulti, and Bounty Hunter steals the last hit out with Janata and Ghostwalk hit. big burst damage, and surprise rotation.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the upside of dying as a Pudge is that you can catch your opponents by surprise. You can TP to a lane that they're not expecting you to be in.
Ah, Frieza. He really thought he could keep up with Puppey. 4 points in Surge does allow him to really catch up again. And then Arsar comes in. There we go, Surge again. Troll can't put up the trap for 10 more seconds. Now he looks over towards Arsar, playing with the supports. And he's going to get this kill. Arsar jukes up through the trees. Back down again. Troll trap off cooldown. 2 more seconds. Surge to happen. But Puppey body blocking him with the Troll. He can't get close enough. And then the Troll trap. He has to stand here. He finally brings down the Troll. Arsar back in range of the tier 1 tower. So low for both these heroes. Arsar's got nothing left. He finally got mana with the stick charges. But the damage was done by Frieza. Pudge hook flies out. Puppey now low on life. Bamboo coming in. Double kill for Frieza. He jukes him a long time and knew that Denny was here. But Denny, Rod's Oldie's guaranteed kill. Big kill to take as well. 281 gold for him, but Bamboo now wants to go on Denny, and then double damage rune. Look for the hook, look for the hook! Latches through the trees, pulls him up. Instant reach by Bamboo, wants to fight on Dendy. The ulti on cooldown. In our bottle, 1 charge to start off with. He's got 1 hook and then can finish up with a rod. Or maybe starts with a rod right in front of him. Then the infest. Denny, a lot of damage, already taking a lot of that. His ulti comes off cooldown. 2 more seconds. Bottle charging up. He doesn't have enough for the full combo. He's just short. There's the hook back in again. Starting off with a rod. Bounty going to come in with him as well. The track is there. Dendy now has ulti. He's got to get himself in range of the double damage. Can't get in range. And Frieza now joined the fight. Thinks about coming up. Surging. Looking for Dendy. A force. Again with the bounty hunter. Trying to dive. Damage. It's almost enough. Not enough to bring him down. Pudge will go down further up. Frieza bringing him off. And then tracks from Sasha Grey. It is all about a force. Looking for another kill. There's no extra support coming in towards this lane. And maybe finally Frieza will give it up. Or is he? Come with me's coming up here too. I don't think we're over, Gods.
Wow, Bambo just staying alive by the skin of his teeth. Unable to finish him off, Dendy, even with the help of the bounty hunter coming there, giving him extra movement speed. Bambo knew his limits, and now it is the rotation from Na'Vi. They brought more heroes top, but look at this. AL, they want to go in. They're looking for... They really want the boss here. This is a possible overextension, though.
Centaur looking for the stomp. He can't decide who he wants. It's going to be come with me. There's the one there. Frieza actually stopped us in anybody. Latraxon also going awry. But Vengeful Spirit nuked down for both Arsar as well as by Puppey. And now Frieza has no Iron Shell. 2 seconds on cooldown. And Shuri tossed out from the Bounty Hunter. Trying to be aggressive, but so much support from Na'Vi rotating in towards this top lane.
It's something Na'Vi are just great at doing, providing that backup whenever their opponents overextend, and AEL just go way too deep there. Even with the maxed out Surge on the Darkseer, Frieza's just getting a bit too overconfident here. Needed that backup from a hero like the Storm Spirit, and AEL can't afford to just go diving in for kills, giving away what lead they're trying to start here. The Storm Spirit, just level 6, is struggling to get those levels, and as a result, AEL, I mean, they had a good start, but it's suddenly being turned around with this over-aggression.
Yeah. And that's something which they've really got to get back in check. And it is one of AL's weaknesses. It's the reason why when you said before that AL is the beatable team as far as the top teams in Europe, is because sometimes you make mistakes. You go over aggressive, and AL, they're classic for it. Absolutely classic for it. Sometimes it pays off, and sometimes it hurts you to a point where you lose the game.
And something that's been happening is they've been putting a lot of time into shutting down Dendy, killing him a couple times with Darkseer, but as a result, Winner and a lot of Heaven has just been free farming away, untouched at this
mid lane. He's so visible, he's caught between 3. There's the first stun, follow-up stun, Frieza in behind him as the Darkseer, Iron Shell damage, Dendy on the way out, Rot denied, not going to happen. Darkseer ensures the last hit in. So Dendy just trying to stay a little bit longer in that bottom lane, trying to find some level of farm because there's too many people on the top lane.
Yeah, it's still a hero for Na'Vi that they can just use to full effect, even with minimal items. They're more worried about getting the farm up on Bounty Hunter as well as the Windrunner. Light of Heaven, he's free farming away. He's well ahead now in terms of CS. He's up to 70 creep kills. Darkseer just with the 50.
Arsar trying to play around with Sony. Again, Arsar stunned, unable to latch. There goes Sony with ultimate. Now going to pull him Bounty Hunter. Cannot see him, however, but then the Ice Path means he's going to stay there. Static Gremlin comes off cooldown now, but Bounty Hunter hiding in the side. Sentry Ward drops, and he's in the trees. They howl out trying to look for him, but he went to the other point.
Smart play from the boss. He gets out of there. He TP's home, and now Dendy, he's come back top. He's going to look for a line, look for a hook here. It seems as if AL, yep, lane ward is there. They see everything. The Giga's up.
It's really smart warding by them. They're looking everywhere. That bottom lane ward as well. It's set up for the kill on Dendy before. There's one little ward just sitting down the bottom lane, just chilling and relaxing. Saw Dendy, and they were able to have all the time in the world and knowing the right positioning to come and get these kills. And that's one thing which from Na'Vi, we're not seeing it. We've got one ward on the higher ground in the middle lane, and we've got one ward rather defensively on the top lane. And that's the only coverage of this map so far. And I think that's a lot of that's coming down to the fact that Chen just doesn't have the cash to spend.
Yeah, and the ward places are there mostly to try to set up hooks for Dendy. Dendy smoked up.
Oh, stray hook. Straight hook.
They had the ward vision there, and come with me. Now going to deny that. Expecting Dendy to be there with a hook, he was really just juking and jiving, stepping back and forth, making sure it's not easy for Pudge. And he does get out of there. He does dodge that. And AL, I mean, this is really good for them. They're denying Na'Vi of so much vision, important lane vision as well. It's not Na'Vi who are warding in the river. They're putting these wards in the mid lane, at the top lane to try set up Dendy for those hooks. If they can deny him of those kills, suddenly Pudge does not become quite the hero that Na'Vi want him for.
And now Horse on the bottom lane. He's been forced to deal with the Iron Shell damage. He's down here though, and he's not really too concerned about it. He's still got the 4-man shield up and having that ring. In fact, going double ring. It is that Vlad's build which we're looking at. I'm waiting for that. It's delayed. It's so delayed because these lanes just didn't work for Na'Vi 100%. Denny with the hook. Couldn't latch it through though. Finds one random. But it is going to be a very early Roshan when they're ready. Puppy, he can pick up 3 creeps now as well. Horse just needs to get this final little bit. He needs the recipe and he needs the hood.
Yeah, the question is, do AL expect it? They've got the heroes who can contest it. They've got Darkseid, who's hit level 12 now. He's maxed out all his first skills. He's going to have a mech up in just a couple hundred gold. Their team fight is going to be very scary, very strong when you combine the vacuum with the AoE coming out from a Jakiro. It sets up the perfect ice path with a Macropire. So for Na'Vi, when they do try to sink that Roshan, they have to be careful.
He knows there's vision on the side here, and that's giving AL a lot of extra confidence. Can he hook? Come with me. Not going to find him, or maybe he does. He's right in front. Ori the stun. He came in range of the Sentry Ward. It's the Invis Rune throwing on the smoke. 4 staff down. Still looking for Kalmi. Couldn't get in range. There goes the swap. Come with me. Doesn't get shackled because of this. He gets a better position, but still nuked on down and power shot it out. Light of Heaven takes him out. Chen, Hand of God, tries to live through Sony. Jumping on him. Jumps again. Straight through him. Ice Path as well as what the hell's happening in the vacuum with the Macropire. Can't find the line. Light of Heaven's on the run back out of here. And it's just Puppy Creech making life a little bit more difficult for Sony. 4 stamps away. That's Line of Heaven. Again, he got time away, able to farm that 4 stamp. Mike and away from this one. Look for the double stun. Gets it on Freezer, but Rage up on Bamboo unaffected. And there's your hook from Dendy. Saving Line of Heaven, pulling him out of the Lion's Pit. And Sony stunned up actually. He's being blocked out again by Puppy. He can't get away. The power shot, he just says stuff it. Use as much mana as possible, get a range, and then TP out to safety.
Well, AL, at the end of the day, they walk away with a kill or 2. They do just lose Come With Me on the Vengeful Spirit, but still a decent trade for them. They don't find the follow-up kills because of Na'Vi. Just some great coordination. They're fantastic hook from Dendy, but it's still AL who are being the aggressors. They're the ones sort of setting the pace of this game, setting up kills and getting more farm for their team. Darkseid now has that finished mech. They've got Lifestealer, Bambo getting very close to a finished armlet, and Stormthread, he's on his way to an Orchid. He's going to go for that Silencing. He's already got one of those 2 Oblivion Staffs.
Is going to be absolutely horrendous to try and deal with when that happens. Lashrak, Windrunner, Chen, even Bounty Hunter. They're not going to live through this. And now with double damage on Bounty Hunter. I don't think Come With Me is going to live through this. This is going to be some huge damage and Shuri Toss, track and stun. Maybe with the wand charges, pops off the salve and then Dendy from absolutely nowhere. The hook takes out the kneecap.
Well, Dendy Pudge, not something to be trifled with, and he lines that one up with relative ease. It's going to be mid lane where he looks for his next one. Freezer needs to be careful. There's a 4-star from Winrar as well to help chase Freezer down, but Na'Vi just a bit too far out of range.
That 4-star, of course, can be used to get Light of Heaven in range for the shackles, or maybe just push Dendy in range for hooks. We know what that's capable of doing. And we still haven't seen Puppy attempt it, because at this point, it's all been about massive control. But we haven't seen that pullback, the Fountain Hook combo from Chen as well as Pudge just yet. But when you have moments where you're like, maybe Storm's a little bit too powerful, it's maybe the same for Nakes, pull him in, throw him in the well. That does all your damage for you. Then he's going to run himself out of the base. Not an easy task to do. Maybe a little bit easier for Storm.
And AL, they haven't actually tried yet to use those Lifestealer drops yet. Put him in the Storm Spirit, set him up through the nice team fight, have him flying in. You can instantly kill a hero like the Chen. If Chen can be killed before popping off the Hand of God, before using some of those heals, it's a big, big win. And Chen at top lane in all sorts of trouble.
Doesn't pull him out. Grabs a creep instead. Chen died too early.
Well, AL, they get another kill. They just back off right away. They're not too worried about following up with a tower with more kills. They know during this time they're out farming their opponents. They've got heroes like Stormster, who hasn't finished your first item yet. Lifestealer has got the armor, but it's not quite being brought out yet. So for AL, they just need to finish this first tier of items before they're ready to follow up these kills with towers, to follow up these kills with a big team fight. For now, they're just playing it relatively safe.
Yeah. But just really can't fault them in doing so. As far as our gold advantage, something we haven't really been looking at a lot closely, and it is actually going the way of Na'Vi. 2,000 as far as experience goes, only 500 gold. So in the overall picture, negligible to not even really having any kind of effect in this game.
Yeah, and the differences come with the support here. AL have the Vengeful Spirit. The Jakiro has been spending a lot of gold warding, a lot of time just not getting any farm, not getting much XP, and that's where the main difference has been. Looking at the supports of Na'Vi, you've got a level 10 Leshrac for Arsat with Treads, Bracer, Magic Wand. Chen is slowly building towards a mech as well. So the support heroes for Na'Vi are just farming a lot better, will have a much greater mid to late game presence with their item builds.
I love these kind of builds too, when Freeze's got so many people around him, he actually buys Arcane Boots on top of his normal Soul Ring. He's just getting sick of being short of mana and having to sacrifice his life for it. And now we're going to see Puppey looking for deep warding. But doesn't find anything around here. The Radiant wards. One sitting in a little bit more out of position, up on the very, very high ground, watching that top lane rotation. Getting a very quick glimpse there of actually, no, they didn't see Denny, that was Denny's own vision. The line is drawn around here and then to here. But it's trying to watch very, very closely. They want to know where Pudge is rotating. They know the momentum which is capable of with this hero. But because they're also being very, very cautious about it, it's buying space now for the supports of Na'Vi. Puppey's almost finished, well not almost, he's 700 gold away from his full mech. Arsat with Treads and Bracer. Things are coming in for them. He's still got 600 gold up his sleeve as well. And Havorst, in the meantime, Vladimir's offering is now finally done. He bought the brace, he bought the drums to start with. The Vlad's is done, and already the pings are coming out. Na'Vi will start setting up for the Rosh.
Yeah, Na'Vi, they want to try force AL into doing something that's going to take them out of their comfort zone. Right now, AL, you've got the support VS just sitting behind Bamboo farming. You've got Jakiro just trying to stay near the top lane farmer of Freezer. They're just positioning their supports behind one of the farmers, behind one of the solos, trying to keep them as safe as possible. Na'Vi don't have to do that. They're the ones with the heroes who can be slightly take more risks. They're out farming AL around the map because of this, and AL need to try set up some more kills soon with this Storm Spirit, with the Darkseid, with this strong combo of theirs.
Yeah, whatever, like, we haven't seen Storm Spirit jump in. Maybe it is just now the fact he's finished up his Orchid. That's what they're waiting for. So have Sony TP himself in towards that middle lane. Team up with the Nakes. Bamboo is already with an Invis rune running down south. And yep, it's the Nakes bomb. It's the Nakes bomb that's starting to prep, or is Bamboo coming in? He's looking for Roshan, and he comes in just the right time. Invis rune is here, and there's no Invis detection for Na'Vi. And Bamboo, this is a possible steal. That Invis rune will last long enough. The question is going to be, can they see it happening? Bamboo, how long is it going to take before that Invis wears off? Can Na'Vi kill off Roshan in time? There's the question. Now the support's coming in. Bamboo's still hiding inside the pit. He hasn't broken that Invis just yet. He's waiting for the right time. Hawk from Dandy, able to latch up one. Mania's the one caught in. Then VS swaps him straight back out again. Macropire. Dandy coming a lot of damage from this one. That Darkseid wall, perfect positioning, forcing Na'Vi to lose out everyone. Shackle finally lashed by Light of Heaven, but they can't finish the job. Maybe Banyan wants to. Come with me. Huge damage. Track damage. Power shot flies out and brings down the poor little Vengeful Spirit. But now Roshan attempt. Puppey loses all of his creeps. Buy back by Dendy. He's got to get down here. TP's already coming down to the tier 1 tower. They cannot let this go. Dendy got to get this hook to oldie combination. Bamboo's in close. Now going to pull the opening wounds up on Dendy. Track up on Bamboo. Maybe they can get this kill. They get some nice cash up and back in again. Not a lot of damage to follow up apart from that Acidic Remnant, but the Shackle Shot holding Bamboo in position, meaning you can't follow up. Sasha Gray, such low life. Dendy with the hook. Light of Heaven actually with the double kill. And Puppey now comes in, and would you believe, now that buybacks, both Storm Spirit, Darkseer, as well as Snakes buying back, they're not going to get here in time, or are they? There's the Ice Path. Light of Heaven's deep inside, Dendy on really low life. Going to be sent back, looks for the Fountain Hook, and Bamboo rages out of fear of it. And just at the right time as well, the Roshan step, Bounty picks up the Aegis Immortal, and now he's going to lose it straight away, or maybe not. Light of Heaven, wonderful Shackle, Storm jumping in, picks off Arsat, now they're looking towards Puppey, Aegis does pop, there's another Ice Path on Puppey and Light of Heaven, Macropie combining, Sony with a double kill, Mania low on life, Light of Heaven, another kill coming out from him, triple kill for Sony, now Bamboo moving on to Havorst, the dust is there, so no way to hide inside the Invis, but Phase Boost, movement speed, Havorst on the run, he's got such great movement speed too, that track bonus, which is up on Bamboo right now. Let's Bounty to run himself away.
Wow. Phase drums as well as the track, giving him so much movement speed to get away from that. At the end of the day, Na'Vi, they lose four heroes at the Roshan pit. They get the Aegis for themselves. AEL, a lot of gold invested into Bimax. They really want to contest the Roshan, or at least take a fight there. They didn't get there in time to prevent Na'Vi getting to Aegis from getting Roshan. But it's Na'Vi. They have that dire advantage. They're in closer proximity to the Roshan pit, and they use that to their advantage. They forced AL into a fight they don't want to take.
Look for the hook. Look for the hook. He needs the line. Maybe even the track. Bounty is giving him the vision, but there's one stupid range creep that's in the way for Dendy. He needs a different line. Repositioning. And then Sony does exactly the same. Does he even know that this dance is happening right now? Bounty Hunter, he still wants to go, maybe even forced to jump away. There goes your hook. Finally, Dandy, insanely impatient, says, I am going to kill this creep. And that is going to be all. Chen goes down, and Sony, that damage from Bounty Hunter, all he needed was the hook, and it would have worked. It looks like Chen went down inside his own jungle.
Yeah, Bambo just roaming through the jungle there and finds a kill for himself and his team as well as mid lane. Azad trying to TP out, he gets vacuum. Frieza has just been really in time with all these vacuum. Last time in that fight around Roshampe, it was a vacuum just as Pudge starts casting the Dismember. Timing it so that he's always cancelling it. This time, gets the ledge track before the TP out, and AL going to try follow it up with a T1 tower. That's something they haven't really done so far this game. When they win a fight, when they get some kills, they haven't followed up with aggression on the tower. Oh, nice. Sneaky, Light of Heaven, gets the deny, and AL, I mean, that's annoying for them, but they're still quite happy with the trades that they're finding around the map.
Yeah, that they definitely are. They've managed to bring down all the outer tier 1 towers, and they've managed to hold every single one by their own mid one. How's their top tower looking? Only niggled a little bit. Bottom tower, it's down to 1/3 of its normal life, but that's okay. They're feeling absolutely fantastic across the board. And what was a 4K gold deficit, now only 1K, I mean experience-wise, and gold was 3K going the way of Na'Vi after the Roshan fight, which I believe comes up at 1,000. Yeah. So little to nothing in between these teams. The question is now going to be Bamboo. Is the kill on Puppey going to be possible with that armlet? It's 100% so. Puppey, he's got a Hand of God if he wants to use it, and he does and lives. Centaur's right behind him, and he actually looked for a double stomp, gets on Bamboo, back in again. Iron Shell, damage is enough. Life still gets the last little poor swipe in. And the support wasn't fast enough from Na'Vi this time.
Yeah, Puppey going down a couple of times in a row there to Bamboo, and with this, Bamboo gets himself up to 2K gold. Going to see that next big item coming in through, give himself some more damage. Oh, Dendy, fishing.
Yeah, but maybe Havorst wants to get a little bit more pressure. Seeing how much damage he's capable of doing. He's already got some decent farm, but just hunting heroes like Jakiro, that was what? One little toss, one little Janata, and we already see Jakiro at half life.
And Bambo picks up a Blink Dagger, so he's going to be going for that strong initiation. Not worried about the damage. It looks like they're going to be relying on Storm Spirit for doing the additional damage needed. They've got the strong team fight with the vacuum, with the AoE from Jakiro, so it's not all about the Lifestealer carry here. And he wants to have the strong initiation. Fast Blink Dagger for him. Even though he can go inside the Storm Spirit, he still wants his Blink Dagger.
Yeah. Right. It is kind of like a couple up of like an item when you've already got an ability that lets you do what you want to do. But if you look at the other way, it means he'll have Infest after he jumps in. And that means a lot more elusive when it comes to fights and a lot more close range damage, as opposed to just the burst damage to just pick off one hero. So that thing, he has to take out Pudge for a while, then jump in for the Infest, comes back out of it, feeling right as rain.
Yeah, and sometimes that Infest damage can be crucial for getting those kills here. AEL going for this top tier 2 tower. It looks like it's going to go down uncontested unless Na'Vi can rotate some more heroes here. They need Pudge lining up some kills. This is really the key hero for Na'Vi's defense. Not so much for it doesn't have any AoE, but setting up a kill with the Pudge hook, and then it gives Na'Vi the opportunity to go in with a 4v5 fight. Without Pudge there, Na'Vi just have to give up those towers.
I see that though, the Na'Vi probably want to fight a lot sooner. We've got full BKB finished up on a Vorst. Spent all of his cash, so he's capable of doing so, which is kind of a dangerous thing to do when if you're going to have any kind of push coming out from AL. They've lost that tier 2 tower on top, so if the creep wave's with it, they'll just go with it. Dendy, he's really got something against melee creeps right now. He just keeps on hooking and rotting them. Yeah. Anything he can find.
And for AL, they want to have this high ground vision here. They want to be able to spot out Dendy wherever he's positioned going for these hooks here. Na'Vi unable to get close enough to deep water. Light of Heaven finally finds the opening to deal with it. And AL, where do they move here?
This is such bait. This is such... Hey! Hawk! And Bamboo! Dragon, all the way back in again. Oldie blinks away, straight out, and TP in range. Bamboo, he gets Oldie in time by Dendy. There will be no escape. There will be a follow-up Centaur stun. In fact, no, he infests the Centaur. He infests the Centaur. He's going to go out through the top. The hook's back in again. But 4 heroes being used to kill off the snakes. While the tier 2 tower is going to go down in mid. But Fountain Hook, first successful.
Well, successful in his mid lane. Oh,
Meg charge.
He's chasing. There's not much chance of getting Stormed here. It's plenty of mana on him. I think Havos just going to try to get off a couple more tracks here. Track's setting up that kill on the lifesteal. They had the track as well on him, allowing him to get the hook regardless of the haste rune. And Dendy now, he wants more. He wants to keep on chasing him. May look for another 4-star hook in here. It's Darkseid near the mid lane who needs to be careful.
Yep. He kind of was. There's a Fountain Hook. 4-star fin and nope. Didn't get it off in time. I'm wondering too if he is going to buy up BTs. Because I'm seeing him there with boots which haven't been completed, and that's the winning Fountain Hook combination. Because the biggest problem right now is the fact that Denny Failed, has to walk all the way back to base.
Yeah, I think the next item for Dendy is going to be those boots of travel, just so we can get back immediately and just keep going. Look for that next lineup, look for that next big fountain hook, and for Na'Vi, they're not worried about sort of ending this game anytime soon for taking big team fights. They're just happy to keep finding those little pickups using this little cheesy strategy with the Pudge and Chen. And for AL, they have to really avoid those kills. They need to stick together. They need to really isolate heroes like the Chen, take him out before he can pop up those heals, before they can use the Fountain Hook from Dendy, and then look to push, then look for a team fight. Because right now, AL's done a great job at taking down these towers one by one. Just 1 hour out of tower remaining at the bottom lane.
Oh, Havorst, real trouble, hooked in, already orchided. There's nothing he can really do but stand and take the damage. He tries to kill off Colony, almost successful in doing so. But the tower denied the bottom lane by Storm, and the kill's already gone their way.
Yeah, he pops a BKB charge, so his BKB now down to 8 seconds here. AL could look to follow this up with this bottom tier 2 tower. The problem is, pushing when they don't have vision around, they want to try to get some lane wards, some wards further around it, just so they can spot out the Pudge, just so they can know what he's up to, what he's trying to do.
Bamboo looking for an opening. He's the one walking around with a gem, and we'll see the Dire Sentry ward. It's a little bit further up there in the middle lane. So if Bamboo walked up there, that probably could have been his death. They would have seen him quite easily, and Dendy would have then get himself a better position. But looks like now Na'Vi going to rotate down towards the bottom lane, see if they're able to get that 4-star in hook. There's a 4-star, and again, attempted the Fountain Hook. Not doable. And now Storm says, well, why don't we go in? Silence up in Light of Heaven. Orchid's already done. Ice Path to follow up, and Bamboo, huge amount of damage from him.
Really smart play from AL. They strike as soon as Pudge goes home. They know he hasn't got his boots of travel yet. They know that Windrunner is just so vulnerable. Even with the immediate sheepstick onto Sony, AL still pick up the kill, still get the chance to go high ground here at the top lane.
Huge jump in. We're going to go Fountain Hook again, but this time a lot closer. Gets the latch. Bamboo pull back in again. They've got to keep with the rod. Then into the ultimate, so Bamboo already dropped on down while Storm Spirit jumping on the rest of the support heroes. Puppy now being brought down, an unstoppable Sony. He is tracked up, and it is going to be Havorst. Looks for the Shuri toss. A lot of damage, but not enough. Dendy, complete Ice Path. Wonderful play by Mania. The tracks are still there. 4-star up. Who's he wanting to go on? No ultimate. It's got another 11 seconds. There's your Macro Pyre with the wall. Huge amount of damage to walk through, and maybe Na'Vi looks for a little bit more. Track up on Come With Me. Dendy, he has been brought down by all these illusions, as well as Freezer walking around with the Iron Shell. Stun out Narsat, can't bring him down. Puppy actually able to get that kill out. The little Ursa swinging on through. In fact, it's also going to be another kill out. Storm Spirit taking his fall, and it's going to be Havorst running as fast as he can. Track is up. Ursa, no mana for a clap. He's a little bit short, but Puppy juking with the Ursa of all people. And Havorst will keep on his tail, but he's out of mana, so he can't keep going.
Well, the beauty for Na'Vi is they're trading kills, and trading kills with a Bounty Hunter is always something favorable for that team, and that's kind of the core of this Na'Vi strategy. Not just the Chen Pudge, the Bounty Hunter giving them track gold. For every kill they're getting a bigger and bigger advantage from it compared to AL, who, despite having taken all these towers, they're not really ahead. I mean, the gold is 3k in their lead, but this is 31 minutes in, so it's just a sort of... It's still something that Na'Vi can cope with. The momentum has been going the way of AL, but a couple more Fountain Hooks, a couple more track kills, and that will swing quickly back in Na'Vi's favor.
And then again, something in the favor of AL is a couple of items that just managed to finish. So we've got Shiva's Guard up on Darkseer. We've got Scythe of Vice as well as that Hex up on Storm Spirit. So if team fights go the way of Na'Vi, they're doing a bloody good job because they're going up against Hexes, they're going up against Slows, they're going up against Ori the Disables, and we saw what Mania was capable of doing with the Ice Path. And if they can hold them all in position with the Darkseer wall, with everything beating on top of them, and the Macro Pyre on top of that, it's just more damage than anyone on Na'Vi can really tank, apart from Pudge. But he's only got 7 stacks right now in that Flesh Heap. And this is so unusual for a Dendy Pudge. He doesn't have that huge amount of life that we would expect for a 31-minute Pudge.
Yeah, right now it's very, very limited. Puppy does finish off his mech now, so Na'Vi's teamfight and ability to survive the AoE from the Jakiro gets slightly better. Elsewhere, they just don't have the item growth. They still need Dendy. Maybe his Boots of Travel's coming up soon, and it's going to be AL. Despite being on this Radiant side, hovering around the Roshan pit, they want to be the ones taking it. They want to be the ones trying to use that to try, I suppose, go for a T3 Towers, try to get a set of Raxes once they have an Aegis on their side.
I applaud you, Bamboo! I applaud you, Bamboo! He's completely locked in the top. And they don't want to swap him back out again.
They don't have it. This is the one problem for AL is that they don't have these support items. We're not seeing items like 4-stuff on the VS, on the Jakiro, something that Na'Vi do have. They've got much tankier, much more farm support heroes, but here comes the Lifestealer bombs. Yep. Sony has the Lifestealer in him. This is going to be them looking for some kills, looking for a setup. As long as, hopefully, Storm Spirit doesn't get picked off by the Chen Pudge hooks. Otherwise, we see 2 heroes going to Fountain.
That is true. To imagine that horrible combination. Double Fountain Hook? Has that ever been achieved in a competitive game? I have not seen that. But it might be possible. Get the snipe, get the 2 key heroes down. Of course, you can't kill them both.
Yeah.
You won't be able to kill them both. You can ulti one, because both have an escape mechanism. They're both got either Blink Dagger or Storm has ultimate. Unless Latrak is there for a double stunner.
Under attack.
And that would be amazing. But it looks like Roshan, it was a pure bait. The Tornado's sitting on top of Roshan right now, so a bit of a windy city. And it's going to be absolute legends. Looking at the bottom lane. And there's pings coming out towards the top lane. It's a decent creep wave pushing into that tier 1 tower. Don't think it's going to be enough to bring it down, but still just thinking twice. Navi's not 100% sure. They've got no vision. AL have completely blinded them.
Yeah, but Na'Vi would be happy to get some gold from that. It's going to be Sexy Bamboo TPing top, so for the time being, AL not looking to strike, not looking to try use this sort of map control they've got to set up some more kills, go for a team fight. And this is giving Na'Vi time to get those next level of items up. Dendy goes for the Ghost Scepter, not the Boots of Travel.
And Orchid for her Vorst.
Oh man, that's a lot of farm on this Bounty Hunter. This is the carry Bounty Hunter that you've seen a couple of times from her boss. This is going to be a nice little cannon for the Storm Spirit who doesn't have a BKB up yet. This is going to force him to go back for that and try get that as soon as possible.
I'm just looking at the implications of this. Like, we've already got the Orchid up. Bamboo can't do anything. He can't jump inside his rage. Now the Hex follow-up from Light of Heaven. Power shot, track kill they get from this one. And what's going to happen too when Storm Spirit's caught out? You can't order yourself away, you can't do anything because you're silenced, and now we're going to go middle lane. Track kill, looking for Mania. Dendy with a haste drone just runs in and instantly shuts down Colby of all people. He doesn't want this VS playing positional with him. Double kill now for Vorst. Hawk pulling Sony back in again, and the Orchid silences on Storm as well. He can't jump away from this, and we've got a Piglet rotting him to death. Triple kill goes the way of a Vorst. Everything, 5 heroes, full team fight in favor of Na'Vi. I apologize for doubting the team fight.
And this is, I mean, well, AL's team fight is scary. You've got a Darkseid, you've got a Jakira, but Na'Vi just say, no, we can maneuver around. We can just use this items of ours. The silencers time perfectly, the sheep stick to follow things up as well. And Na'Vi get a full team fight without taking a single point of damage practically.
But it's the opening. They shut down the Nates. That was the first thing. Orchid, no one saw it from AL. They couldn't know that was going to be coming, and they picked one, and then the rest of AL was sitting there, and they shouldn't. They had to fall back at that point. But they're thinking, well, maybe we can take this fight. Nope. No, it couldn't happen. And now Na'Vi fall back smartly. Roshan's still up.
And by the time there's that next team fight, the Orchid is back off cooldown.
Oh, again! Yeah! No!
He hates those melee creeps.
Oh, you poor little melee creep. It's just not your day. Just not your day. And Denny, I don't think he's even sticking around to let him die.
It's his own creep.
It's fine. I thought he was going to deny him back at base. Actually, maybe that was next level. Heal up his creep. Heal up his own creep. Not possible. Puppy now in trouble. But Bamboo coming in to help.
Well, Na'Vi, it doesn't look like it can go for Roshan. Now, Light of Heaven does go down and immediately buys back pretty much predominantly to make sure AL don't go into the Roshan pit, that Na'Vi are there to contest it if they need to. And Na'Vi, without taking a mid-rack, despite winning a big fight, despite evening things up and taking a pretty big lead now, they're up by about 5k gold. It's still not in the bag. They're versing a Storm Spirit who's going to try and rush that BKB. Lifestealer's going to look for maybe a BKB of his own to give himself some extra invulnerability on top of his rage. You can cast the BKB when you get silenced, which is the beauty of it. You can't rage out of it, but BKB, and then you've got the rage for when the BKB wears off.
And you're 100% on it too. The Yoga Club's already flying out for him now. It's what he wants. It's what he'll do. And Darkseid also realized too, he's only 1,500 away from getting his Aghanim Scepter. And then that ulti changes around again. Able to steal off Bounty Hunter with all the damage which is coming out from him right now. And he's also got 3.1k gold on Vorst. What is he going to buy next? Torment Shield's obviously going to be sold. But do we just see Heart?
Well, for Vorst, he's got a ton of farm here and pretty much a lot of options as far as items. I mean, this is probably just going to be looking for him to tank up. Like you say, the Heart of Taras, great for just getting pure survivability. He can even later on sell that Drum of Endurance, use that to give him an extra item slot, that extra damage item, something which he's hitting over 200 damage a hit, but he's got plenty of time to get another damage item if that's what he wants to do.
So it looks like her Vorst managed to crash out. Just want to give a bit of a reminder and also a bit of a shout out to anyone who's currently sitting at their PCs here at Dreamhack and watching this live stream or watching it through Dota TV or any kind of thing like that. Hello to you guys. Just want to say there's a couple of seats over here if you want to. We've got a pretty nice crowd. Actually thought we wouldn't have that many people here for our first day of the group stages, but the crowd is definitely here.
Well, we've got the mood lighting to suit it as well as we get well into the evening here today.
It's sexy Dota with sexy Bamboo, man. What more do you need? What more do you need?
We need Sexy Bamboo to make some big plays for AL if AL are going to take this game after losing that big team fight. He's got to be someone who really finds the initiation. Sure, they're trying to use that Storm Spirit Lifestealer, but he's got this Blink Dagger. He's going to be the initiator. He's going to want to try use the Infest to save him later on in the fight, or to use it maybe to deal with one of the Chain Creeps.
It's that combo though. It's what you look at. Like, a lot of pressure is on Bamboo, but you've got to get Darkseid in the right position. Jakira's got to be in the right position, and I think Na'Vi also respect the fact. They respect the team fight of AL. You said at the end of the last fight, when Na'Vi took it with not a single point of damage, AL have a very scary team fight. They do. Na'Vi know it. They got lucky. They got lucky the first time because they caught someone out. They managed to get this kill, and they're just chained into a horrible, horrible landslide. And at this point, can Na'Vi do that again? A lot of these items are already now known. AL should not make the same mistake again. And it's still 26-27. Rax hasn't gone down, and AL will feel a lot more confident if they're fighting from inside their own base, which they don't have to. The creep waves are pushed out in the bottom lane, pushed out in the top lane, and the rest of Na'Vi is grouped up in the middle lane, going doop 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 doop. Maybe Roshan sometime soon.
Yeah, and for AL, after that little pick off on Bamboo, they're sticking together a lot more, trying to prevent Na'Vi from finding those openings to get those kills. And this is kind of the flexibility of the Na'Vi lineup. When they can't find those little pick-offs into a team fight like they just had with the big team wipe, then they go back to maybe looking for those fountain hooks, have Dendi and Chen look to team up, set up some fountain hooks, and once they go back into that style of play, then AL will forget to keep sticking together. We'll leave those opportunities for Na'Vi to get another pick-off using their Bounty Hunter, using that Orc Malevolence, and then try find a team fight. So Na'Vi, they're kind of bouncing back and forth between the fountain hooks, and then looking for the pickoffs, and that really shows the strength of their lineup.
Yep. Havorst, what the hell are you buying? Hyperstone, okay, we're either looking at, I assume not, Mujolnya, but it should be an AC coming out for Havorst.
Well, that's going to give them a lot of the whole entire team, the bonus armor, give them a lot of survivability up against this lifesteal, and also make this Radiant team a lot squishy. You've got physical damage coming up from Bounty Hunter, and later on Windrunner as well. We're going to see some decent damage when you combo what's a Sheepstick, Phase Boot, 4-star, possibly a damage item with that Focus Fire.
I am interested to know what it's going to be. With Havorst, you just never know. You just never know. He's already attacking so damn fast with that Hypersode on top of everything else that he's got. This is going to be actually quite brutal when you think about it. When it comes to team fights, if one person's locked for a split moment, if Denny does get a Hawk into Dismember, Havorst comes over, does 2 right clicks, instantly you're already dropped down so damn far.
Yeah, and if he does go for that Mjolnir, that's a lot of lightning procs that you're going to have with all that attack speed that he's managed to get now. And Na'Vi, they're actually going on the aggressive. They're looking for a smoke gank here. They're going to try find a pick off here. They're just sweeping around. More than anything, they're scouting out where AL are. They'll see that they're not around, and now Na'Vi go into the Roshan pit.
Yeah. I was wondering how long this would take. Havorst can solo this. Na'Vi doesn't need to be in here. Na'Vi does not need to be in here. In fact, Denny really should probably be on the outside looking for that repositioning hook. But it looks like Absolute Legends, they're not coming in time. They're not going to be able to contest this.
Yeah, there's AL are just nowhere near this. Sony is back at his own secret shop. You've got Vengeful Spirit just hovering around that middle lane. So Na'Vi have taken an uncontested Roshan, and AL probably not even going to look to fight this after Aegis has been picked up. So for Na'Vi, that's a smart piece of move there. They sweep through the enemy jungle. They know there's not enough heroes nearby to contest Roshan. They can take it easily. You mentioned Havorst can solo kill it. Na'Vi to play the safer option. They go in there together and now look to maybe use this Aegis to go for another push. These middle Raxes, they haven't got a tower there to defend with, so it's going to be hard for AL to defend, although they do have the defender's advantage using that Dark, so you can mention a hero that late game is just incredibly hard to push into.
Yeah. And Na'Vi going to have to do it at some point. They have to enter that base. There's always that massive, massive hurdle where you can lose all the momentum you had. And it looks like Storm just jumping around. He's still got the regenerate, that's the reason why he's doing it. Anything he can do. He's looking for an opening, and middle lane's going to be it. There's a lot of heroes. There's the Storm jump in. Who's he going to go for? Bamboo, he jumps out. There's no one there. Trying to bring down Havorst. He's on low line with the BKB, letting him walk pretty freely through this. But Dendy and Puppy locked in position. Is Dendy trying to go on Mania, rotting him down? Is it going to be our second kill already with the VS going down? Dendy, yep, finishes the job. Now we go a little bit further down, and it is going to be follow-throughs. Storm trying to pull in, just kiting around with a Havorst, but there's your 4-star into hook. Denny close in range, he gets the kill, double kill for him. And with the track, R-Star's able to keep up with Frieza. Back away, but really, he needs to surge. There's already the penitence, the surge is there. A voiceless track done, Dendy try and go prediction hook, unable to latch it. And we've had the buyback by the Storm Spirit. Oh, jump in, picks up Dendy, but no! Puppy pulled him out! He tested his face and it came out on top, and now R-Star trying to juke, looks for the stun, doesn't get it quite right, and they will at least get consolation prize.
What an amazing test of faith, saving Dendy's life, and boys, you're going to be thankful for that. Dendy now he has got those boots of travel, so we will see that Fountain Hook followed up by a TP back into those team fights, and AL, what looked to be a bad engagement, they managed to turn around a little bit with the Storm Spirit buyback, but just the one kill on Lashrak is not going to be enough. That's a lot of gold invested into that.
And it cost Storm. It really does cost Storm a lot. He was trying to build up towards his Bloodstone, and that's going to basically... He would have been halfway through his last item. Halfway to that Soul Booster, and now he's a long, long way out. BT's up on Dendy. It has been a long time since I've seen this tried, and I actually know myself, because... Do I dare admit this? I tried doing this with Dendy. I actually myself in a pub game tried doing this with Dendy, where he BTs out and you use the Test of Faith and you pull it straight back again. And it's a free attempt. It doesn't cost you anything to do it, because if you're both back at base, you both regenerate your mana.
Yeah, Dendy, it's just the Boots of Travel cooldown. He's not looking to go to use that anytime soon. He's going to look to group up with his team, go back to farming, and Na'Vi, they're pretty happy with the position they're suddenly finding themselves in, winning these last couple team fights, forcing out the buyback from Storm, slowing down the Bloodstone or his next big item, and Na'Vi are getting a lot of farm on their DPS here as the Bounty Hunter and the Windrunner are just getting a crazy amount of damage in these team fights. They're the ones who are just going to kite around the Life Stealer, make his time in these team fights really hard to actually lock down on anyone, get those kills. It's going to be entirely reliant on the Storm Spirit to finish off heroes.
Wondering if they gave another crack. Denny's BT's come off cooldown. Every minute I'm going to be checking him to see where the hell he's going. As I'm seeing a infested Storm Spirit coming up towards the top lane. He's going to have Dendy and Puppy just around the corner, but there's also two heroes very close to supporting. There goes the Howl. They see them, but it's the BKB already popping off from a Vorce. Track up, wants to bring down Storm Spirit. VS trying to swap out, but he swaps the wrong hero. He needed to pull out the Storm Spirit, but now he goes down the sidelines. Dendy holding up Bamboo. Nowhere to TP, nowhere to do anything. Shackle latches up as well. Bamboo forced to stand his ground, and double kill for Dendy. Double kill for Revorced, and this is going to be another one. Mania takes the ball back behind the tier 1 tower, which finally goes down. And it's Freezer who's running in towards the middle lane.
This Orchid Malevolence has proven to be basically the perfect item to deal with the Storm Spirit. He got immediately picked off, immediately focused down, and Na'Vi win the fight hands down without that Storm Spirit. He's the one hero for AL who is just crucial to any team fight they have. And the ability that they focus him down that fast, he needed to jump on the Chen, he needed to get away from the Bounty Hunter, and it didn't happen. And Na'Vi, they win the fight handily. They're going to go for the tier 3 tower, possibly even a Rax here with about 15 seconds before the support heroes respawn.
Freezer's going to make it very, very difficult with this wall, especially considering he's got so many illusions there, but it looks like Bounty Hunter doesn't care. The creep wave's taking care of it, while the fortification already being used, which means we're going to see that melee Rax going down. And this is going to be ranged Rax as well. Maybe it's going to be enough, and well, hello Darkseer saying hello, and Hawk and Denny is there, into the ultimate. And Puppy, where's the nuke? Where's the nuke? VS swaps away. Ice Path follows up, and now maybe Denny walking into it, trying to run, bring down, come with me. It might be doable, but back in again into that macro pyre. Huge amount of damage and Storm. Big jump up. Starting really low life, but he jumps up again. Now going to look for Dendy. Sony popping up the Aegis to the Immortal, jumping down a little bit further, and it's going to be Bamboo teaming up, bringing down the Lashrak, and now Na'Vi slightly overextended, but Denny 4 stars up towards the high ground. Surge up, trying to get Storm Spirit in range so he can get that pull in. But Denny goes the opposite direction. Oh, there's Bamboo. He's in close enough for the Blink Dagger. Open wounds. Ghost have to make it a little bit easier for Denny to escape. Storm, he wants one more jump, but doesn't have the mana for it. Maybe with the Orchid. Thinks about going. Havorst here in support. There's no other support coming in from Na'Vi. Open wounds. There's your jump in, but force off away from Denny. Shiva's guard. Back in again. He gets affected by it at the last moment, and they do bring down Denny. 471 gold going to Storm Spirit for that dominating spree being ended.
Well, the problem is with these fights for AL is that they're giving away just so much gold to all these die heroes. I mean, look at Pudge, who's picked up those boots of travel a couple minutes ago. He's already up to 3.5k gold just as a result of all the track gold that Na'Vi's getting. When you're getting these kills, when you're winning these team fights so handily, the track gold just flows all the way through this Na'Vi side, giving their supports a lot of fun. Puppy's looking at an Aghanim Scepter just in a couple hundred gold. Bounty Hunter's got 3.5k gold, and that's with this complete Assault Crest. That's with pretty much 4 full slots of items. And Windrunner, this is the MKB, I believe, or possibly a Daedalus coming out very soon for Light of Heaven.
And there's no one who's really evading what he's doing, so I would assume Daedalus coming out for him. And Bounty Hunter is just with full AC, with a BKB, and still with 3.6k gold. It's just so much, and it's 15,000 going the way of Na'Vi right now as far as advantage. Puppy. He's also now 200 gold away from his Aghanim Scepter. Did Darkseer finish the Aghanims? Not yet. No, he didn't. Too many buybacks, and smoke time for AL. Are they moving in? Roshan doesn't respawn for another 4 minutes. But it's infest up on the Storm Spirit. They look for the opening Storm. Long jump up. Then the pop out. Wants to bring down Arthur before the fight going to begin. And they're successful. VS then swapping and Bounty Hunter. He's too far down, but look at the damage on Storm Spirit. Looking to hold him in position. And it works. He does the job with the Abyssal Blade. That's what was given the bash to hold him there. He's burning down on 88 HP. Bamboo needs to finish the job. Blinks up, does do so. So Storm for a Nakes. Come with me still here. Make charge, do something to keep him alive. Arstar's the one who bought back for Na'Vi. And he should take a fall up. It's Ghost Scepter wears off. There's your Macropire. There's your damage. Freeze behind him. Hook from Puppy. From Denny. Unable to stop it. Light of Heaven turns around. It's just too much. They're able to get a kill on Bamboo is the one. Shackled for a mini time, so Denny's able to get close. Hook comes off cooldown. Doesn't want to use it just yet. Waiting for the rage to come off. There's the blink away. He's too far away. With a 4-star, he might get himself in range, but not going to take the risk. Nake's the only one alive now for AL.
Yeah, every fight AL loses Storm Spirit doesn't end up well for them. Even with the Bounty Hunter kill, a kill that if they keep Storm Spirit alive there, that's Bounty Hunter dead without buyback. He just bought that Abyssal Blade, but Na'Vi, they come out on top. They're going marching down this middle lane. They want to end this. They want to end this soon. And, well, Lifestealer doesn't go for the BKB. It's a Heaven's Halberd. He's looking just to stay alive as much as possible in these team fights. But Na'Vi, in your perfect position to take this middle set of racks is to get up with a 4 racks advantage.
This is going to be really, really difficult. Maybe if Na'Vi overcommit, AL will find an opening just to push straight back down that middle lane. It is doable, and Na'Vi might not even give them the opportunity. Roshan spawns about 3 minutes time from now. So Na'Vi, again, push the middle lane up, taking a fight. They took a tier 3 tower last time, and now they're thinking about falling back for Dendi. One last chance. Fountain hook chance. Who does he want? Yep! Look at the wings! Look at the wings flap! That is possibly the most brutal animation we've seen. Just dragged and dragged and dragged and dragged and dragged and dragged, and he's like, stop! Dead.
The poor dragon.
The power of Fountain Hook.
It's just exponential growth for Na'Vi, where they just keep getting these kill after kill. It's really just this snowball effect where once they start getting some, they're getting more, they're getting the track gold in there as well, and the Fountain Hooks are working for Na'Vi. This is something that AL had to avoid. They had to sort of strike first before Na'Vi got on top of them, but it's Na'Vi. It's not easy to do it against them.
He got Monkey King bar, by the way. Here, we're going to go top lane again. Timing was wrong. Actually, no, he cancelled.
Didn't have the test of faith, I think.
He was wanting to go, though, but it didn't happen. It would have been impossible to get a hook in that.
Well, for Na'Vi, they pretty much got all the items they could hope for. They're up 4 racks here. This is probably the moment where they look to just go take another team fight down the middle lane. Sure, they've been relying more on finding these little pick-offs, finding the Storm Spirit before a team fight begins, but now they've just got this massive lead, which they can just use to basically just go straight at AL. The BKB is going to keep them alive. Now Pudge with one as well as the Bounty Hunter, and it's going to be so hard for AL to defend or take a team fight now.
Yeah, this is a tricky situation for them. Horst already looking to scout them out so they know what's coming towards this bottom lane. Fortification on 11 HP on that tower, and they do get the denial. However, he comes up, just swipes off the denial, so a small victory coming out with that bottom tower, but that's the last at a tower going down, and it's the last at a tower before now Na'Vi can go in, and we're going to see Dendi again. 4-star hook attempted, not able to latch, but he'll BT back in a moment. And now they want to go. In fact, they're making the most of it before he can BT back in. Puppy with the troll trap, holding Bamboo back, and Ghost Scepter letting him live as well, but there's a BS done into the back wall. This is really, really nice now for Absolute Legends. They've got to bring down Puppy. They get him down. Denny with the ultimate, just holding Bamboo for a moment. Shackle has held Freezer in position. They're not caring about it. Dandy now really manning up against Bamboo, but Bamboo trying to bring down Bounty Hunter. Not possible. There's 3 heroes just pounding on him. Track up on Freezer. Then he's such high movement speed. Sony getting hexed up by Light of Heaven. Shackle won't lash, but they don't need a triple kill now coming for Force, and maybe going to be double kill is for Arsad. It is a full wipe, and GG is the call. Na'Vi will take their second game here in the group stage. And Absolute Legends go 1-1, and they'll go into their last game here at the group stage, living life on the edge.
Yeah, AL in pretty much a must-win match in that last match, and well, it wasn't. For me, for Na'Vi, it was convincing towards the end, but throughout them early to mid-game, AL had their openings. They were actually up by as much as 3k gold at one point, but it came back, and Na'Vi, once they got that momentum, once the snowball effect came in, and the big item was the BKB on the Bounty Hunter. As soon as he got that, they could just go steamrolling through. They could take the fight to AL. Before that, they struggled, but once that BKB was up, it was just cruise control for Na'Vi.
Yep. And Na'Vi is the way they like to play. The way I like to play, get a slight amount of momentum and you just start rolling over the top of absolutely everybody. Absolute Legends, bit of a learning experience for them for this game. Obviously, they had to know what they were getting into. They were trying different combinations. This was a game where they probably went into saying, we're going to lose this. it's pretty much sure we're going to lose this up against Na'Vi. So why don't we try something different? Why don't we try something which most people wouldn't have been expecting? And Storm Nake's Bomb, it's an old classic kind of thing. It could have really worked for them if they just kept that momentum coming, but once the key arms came up for Na'Vi, and more importantly, I think you can bring that entire game down to one moment. And that was the Orchid kill that they got on Bam.